Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video that might evolve into a series to some extent. Due to popular demand, I will be going over the results of key battleground states in the 2020 presidential election, comparing my prediction to the actual results, as well as analyzing those final results in depth. In these videos, we will be keeping a close eye on any major shifts on a statewide or county level, whether that be demographically or just simply on a results basis. I have already kind of made a video along these lines for the state of Florida a couple weeks ago, which will serve as a baseline for how this series, or whatever you want to call it, will run. That video is going to pop up right here in the top right of your screen, so go click on that if you haven't already watched it. But anyways, now that everybody watching this video is hopefully all caught up, today we are going to move up to the Rust Belt and take a look at the state of Pennsylvania, which was the state that pushed Joe Biden across the 270 mark and led to major news networks officially declaring him the president-elect of the United States of America. Right here is some basic info about the state of Pennsylvania, which holds 20 electoral votes. That is tied with Illinois for the 5th most in the entire country. The state of Pennsylvania has also been decided by single digits in every election since 1972, except for 2008, when Barack Obama defeated John McCain by 10.4 percentage points. However, in the 12 elections since 1972, including 2020, Democrats have won 8 times, to the Republicans 4. They also won 7 of the last 8 presidential elections in Pennsylvania, so it is a state that has been pretty much dominated by Democratic candidates in recent history. Now, pre-2016, the state also voted to the left of the country in every election since 1948. However, the lone exception to those Democratic wins is Donald Trump's 2016 victory, where he defeated Hillary Clinton by 0.7% and just 44,000 votes. He achieved that by capitalizing especially on the white vote, located mostly in western rural Pennsylvania. He carried 56 of the state's 67 counties, which were mostly rural and suburban, while Clinton, as expected, carried the urban areas surrounding Philadelphia and Allegheny County, which is home to Pittsburgh. The biggest and most surprising swing of any county in Pennsylvania, and arguably in the entire country, was Luzerne County, a Democratic stronghold that Barack Obama carried by 9% in 2008 and 5% in 2012. Donald Trump swung the county up to 25%, winning there by over 19 points. The other pivot counties, defined as having voted for Barack Obama in 2008 and 2012, but for Donald Trump in 2016, were Erie County, located in the most northwest part of Pennsylvania, that swung from a 17-point Obama victory in 2012 to a 1.5-point win for Trump in 2016. Now, if we conduct simple math, that means that it swung 18.5 points, which, if you aren't super aware of electoral politics, is really significant. It does not happen very often where a county swings by more than 10 points from one election to another. However, the last of the 3 pivot counties was Northampton, which swung from a 4.5% Obama victory to a near 4-point win for Trump in 2016. Now that we have basically covered all of the relevant information for pre-2020, let's take a look at where those counties ended up this election. Luzerne County remained in Trump's column, but only by 14% this time around, a full 5 points lower than in 2016. Then in Erie County, Biden flipped it back into the Democrats' column by 1%, and finally in Northampton County, Biden won by a little below 1%. So Biden did flip 2 of the 3, but these 3 counties are not solely responsible for why he flipped the state entirely. I might also add that it is not the case that he overperformed in Philadelphia, because he actually received a lower portion of the vote than Hillary Clinton. The real reason for his success in Pennsylvania, and what brought him his 1.2-point victory, was how he overperformed in rural and more white counties across the state that voted for Trump by record numbers in 2016. This was key to his success in Wisconsin and Michigan as well, He just simply performed better among white working class voters than Hillary Clinton ever did. That was expected to some extent, but for you to see just how much this truly materialized for Biden, all you need to do is look at a side-by-side comparison of the two county maps. There is a lot more dark red in the 2016 map here in eastern and central Pennsylvania, and also out west in the super conservative counties that Trump and most political pundits largely attributed his victory 4 years ago to. And if we were to take a look at this map here from the New York Times Upshot, you can see where and by how much counties voted more Democratic or more Republican. Apart from Philadelphia County, all of eastern Pennsylvania shifted towards Biden by very large margins, especially in some of these Philadelphia suburbs like Montgomery and Delaware County. But most of these big blue arrows you see around in the eastern and central parts of the state here are very suburban and rural. They further represent the suburban shift towards Biden that we saw occur nationwide. One last interesting point brought up in this specific New York Times article here is that Trump's improvement in Philadelphia largely came from majority Hispanic neighborhoods, which is akin to what we saw in Florida with Miami-Dade County. So this would suggest that the Hispanic shift towards Trump and the Republican Party as a whole is not quite as isolated as you might think. Although it is true that this shift was not anywhere near as impactful as it was in Miami and Florida as a whole. In the end, Joe Biden won exactly 50% of the vote in Pennsylvania and defeated Donald Trump by 81,000 votes, almost double that of Trump's win over Clinton in 2016. And this came despite Joe Biden's failed attempt to turn out more minority voters in urban areas. Thankfully for him, his supporters, and his campaign as a whole, he cut down the margins in rural and suburban Republican counties enough to put the state back in the Democratic column, where it has mostly stood for the better half of 3 decades. So let me know what you guys think of all of this in the comment section down below. Were you at all surprised by the results in Pennsylvania? It is true that polling data was off by quite a bit, as Biden's lead stood at 4.7 points in 538's final average. But that was still relatively within the margin of error, and even Nate Silver himself was questioning the possibility of a shift of that size towards the president on election day. Anyways, again, let me know what you all thought of this video and what was discussed in the comments section down below. I hope you all enjoyed this analysis video. Make sure to like it down below if you did, as well as subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you all so much for watching. Check out more content from my channel here, and as always, tune in next time. EP out.